Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This NHL season has been very interesting to say the least, and while it is still currently on pause, hopefully it does pick up or maybe it won't. We have yet to see what's going to happen. But in the meantime, I've really been thinking about everything that has transpired throughout this 2019-2020 NHL season, and the goaltending has really stood out to me a lot, and I haven't really talked about it as much as I'd like to so far on my channel. Especially this season, there has been a lot of guys, whether it be rookies or veterans in the league, have really stepped up this year. There's been a lot of great stories in the goaltending category, especially that have really propelled their teams into a playoff position or right out of playoffs, or just playing fantastic overall and look like they're going to be a big name going forward in the NHL. So I'm going to break down, in my opinion, who are the best 10 goaltenders in the NHL, starting from 10 and then leading up to 1. And these are my opinions, obviously, so if you agree or disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. Please let me know in the comments. I'd really love to appreciate your feedback. But starting off at number 10, I have Tristan Jarry for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jarry going into this season was not expected to be the number 1, but with Matt Murray dealing with injuries and just overall down play, Jarry has emerged and, in my opinion, is the better of the two and will be going forward. Jarry, in 33 games played this season for the Penguins, has 20 wins, which is a big stat given the amount of games he's participated in, 2.43 goals allowed average, and a save percentage of .921 and 3 shutouts. Jarry, there's a lot to like there. He's a very young, promising goaltender that has dealt with injuries in previous seasons, which has led to him not being at the NHL level as much as maybe one would hope. But Jarry healthy has provided a lot for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it seems like it has helped Matt Murray as well kind of not have everything on his shoulders. It kind of a similar situation with the St. Louis Blues with the emergence of Jordan Binnington last season that has really helped Jake Allen out, in my opinion, that has really helped his career from falling out, because he had a strong start to his career, but really was not looking good the past couple of years. But with Binnington taking on that number 1 spot, all the pressure was off of Allen's shoulders, and I see a similar situation now with Matt Murray. But number 9, I have Carey Price, the Montreal Canadiens. Price has been arguably one of the best goaltenders throughout the entirety of his career, easily over the past decade plus, and he is once again having a very strong season, even with a very so-so Montreal Canadiens team, on defense at least. And in 38 games played, he has 27 wins, which is a great stat, and 58 games played, I might add. So he really takes on that workload. Backups are essentially non-existent, and that's always been the case with Price throughout his career. And he has 27 wins and a goals allowed average of 2.79, a save percentage of .909, and he has currently 4 shutouts on the season, assuming it doesn't come to a cancellation. But Price, even with him being kind of in the downturn of his career, he's still playing some very strong hockey and has won plenty of crucial games for the Montreal Canadiens this NHL season. And like I said, continues to take on such a heavy workload that I feel he should not be taking, but he's not being hurt nearly as much as, say, other goaltenders in the NHL in his spot would be if they were basically starting the majority of the NHL season. And that's what Carey Price has done, and for the entirety of his career, for that matter. So number 8, I have Jacob Markstrom for the Vancouver Canucks. Markstrom really surprised me this season. I'm sure he surprised a lot of Canucks fans too. He was very coveted back when he was with the Panthers. I believe he was an original first-round pick or a higher-round pick. I could be wrong, but there was a lot of hype with him originally, and things really haven't panned out at being an NHL mainstay as a starter. But this season, he took that next step, and I've been really happy with what I've seen from him. Unfortunately, he's dealt with injuries that have delayed him this season, but with this halt on the NHL season that could really benefit him going forward and being fully healthy possibly if the season picks up coming to playoff time. So we'll see what happens. But Markstrom, in 43 games played this year, has 23 wins, a goals allowed average of 2.75, and a save percentage of .918, and that also includes 2 shutouts. Markstrom, big size goaltender, has really been fantastic for the Canucks this year, something that I don't think a lot of people were expecting, and I sure wasn't. And while Thatcher Demko does look like their future, Markstrom has had a fantastic season for this Vancouver Canucks team, and without him, they would be, in my mind, no chance of making playoffs. So at number 7, I have Carter Hart, the young goaltender out of Philadelphia for the Flyers. Hart, in 43 games played this year, has 24 wins, save percentage of 914, and a goals allowed average of 2.42, and has one shutout. Hart, along with this entire Flyers team, has really played above expectations, in my opinion, and Hart is only going to continue to get better. He's such a fantastic young goaltender, and is already proving this early in his career that he is going to be the face of this Flyers franchise, and will most likely be one of the biggest names in the NHL, in the goaltending position at least, for years to come. There's a lot to like there with Hart, and if you're a Flyers fan, you have to be ecstatic with what you're getting from him, because this is only the beginning of a very long, successful career. Next, I have at number 6, Jordan Binnington. In 50 games played, Jordan has 30 wins, goals allowed average of 2.56, a save percentage of 912, and has 3 shutouts. Binnington is another who has really played strong and came out of nowhere, as we all know, is basically miracle story last season with making that push with the Blues to ultimately win the Cup with them and being a huge, crucial piece in doing so. Binnington has not slowed down by any means. He has continued to pick up the pace and has had a very strong first NHL season as a starter. So I'm really happy for Binnington. I hope this continues, and the tandem between him and Jake Allen is one of the best in the entire NHL. So next I have at number 5, I have Andrei Vasilevskiy. That might surprise some people, but in my opinion, given the type of team that Vasilevskiy works with, I don't think he's played as good as maybe one would expect him to, or as good as what he's played in the past in some of his Vezina winning years. Vasilevskiy, in 52 games played, a big workload still, don't get me wrong, has 35 wins, goals allowed average of 2.56, and a save percentage of 917, including 3 shutouts. Vasilevskiy is without question one of the best goaltenders in the NHL, but at the same time, this season at least, I don't think that he has played as well as, I would say, close to a handful of other goaltenders, and I will get to them. But Vasilevskiy is a very talented, still young goaltender, but I think that he is a little bit overhyped at times, and I'm sorry if that upsets any Tampa Bay Lightning fans, but that's just my opinion. I expect a little bit more out of him, and he needs to be on his head come playoff time, because if he cannot do that along with this Tampa Bay Lightning team, then what else can you really expect from him going forward? Because obviously regular season games only mean so much. So that's just my little food for thought in regards to him. And next, in the 4th spot, I have Mackenzie Blackwood. And this one may be a shock to a lot of people that are watching this. You might heavily disagree with me, but Blackwood, as a rookie goaltender, is without question top 5 in the NHL this season. The biggest difference between Blackwood and the other goaltenders that have, say, kind of better stats than him is the fact that Blackwood plays for the New Jersey Devils. They have the 3rd worst defense in the entire NHL. All the other guys that I am going to get to for the most part, if I haven't talked about them already, are all around top 15, top 10 really in regards to defense, and a handful of them are easily top 3 to top 5. Yeah, Blackwood, he's far and away the difference maker here with some of the other goaltenders because of the workload he takes on a night-to-night basis. They have really thrown everything at him, the Devils, with not holding anything back, and he has been unbelievably successful this season for them. And this is coming from a Rangers fan, so it's not like there's any bias by any means. But Blackwood has really played on his head this rookie year, and he looks like he's going to be a crucial part to the New Jersey Devils' development going forward, and I fully expect him to be a big part of their franchise for the next decade. So Blackwood, in 47 games this season, has 22 wins, goals allowed average is 2.77, and a save percentage of 915, and includes 3 shutouts. So like I said, Blackwood, fantastic season for him this year, and I expect a lot more from him going forward, and it's going to be really fun watching duels between him, Carter Hart, and Igor Shesterkin and or Alexander Georgiev for the New York Rangers, just in that, Metropolitan Division race. So next, in the 3rd spot, I have Ben Bishop. Ben Bishop has been a Ranger killer. As a Ranger fan, I can easily say that, but Bishop is a fantastic goaltender, and in my mind gets overlooked quite a bit. Dallas has been a very strong defensively minded team, but even before that, Bishop has just been such a solid goaltender throughout the entirety of his NHL career, and he's doing just that once again this season. In 44 games played, he has 21 wins, 2.50 goals allowed average, and a save percentage of 920, and includes 2 shutouts. Bishop, fantastic goalie, in my opinion, does not get the credit that he deserves. And Goodobin has played very solid as a backup as well. They are a great tandem in the NHL too. But don't let that take away from the success that Bishop has had, because year in and year out, he has really proven a lot to the teams that he plays for and steps up in playoffs. And I really think that is crucial. So Ben Bishop, I really am a big fan of his, even with him being a Ranger killer in the past. There's so much to like there when it comes to him, and I really feel like he deserves more recognition, especially this season. Next, I have in the number 2 spot, I have Tuukka Rask. Tuukka, many could argue would say he would be number 1, but in this case, I have him at number 2. In 41 games played, he has 28 wins, a goals allowed average of 2.12, and a save percentage of 928, and 5 shutouts. Rask is having a monster season for the already monster offensive and defensive Boston Bruins. He is really, in my opinion, having not a bounce back year, but just a better year than maybe one could expect from him. Rask is another one of those goalies where year in and year out, you know what to expect with him, but he has truly been phenomenal this season. He definitely is deserving of getting votes for the Vezina. If he's not going to win it, then he definitely deserves to be right there close to, because Rask has been lights out for the Boston Bruins all season and has bailed them out on plenty of occasions throughout the season. And at number 1, I have Connor Hellebuyck. Why do I have Connor Hellebuyck? The biggest difference is his workload and the team he plays for. He has 58 games he's played in this year. 58. That's the equivalent to like Carey Price. But the difference is Hellebuyck is the sole reason why the Winnipeg Jets have a strong chance at being in playoffs if the season resumes, because they currently are in a playoff spot. But that is all in part because of Hellebuck's play. They don't use their backup by any means. Brossoit just is not there for them. Paul Maurice does not trust him enough, so he's given a heavy workload to Hellebuyck and has had a monster season this year. And 58 games played, like I said, he has 31 wins, a goals allowed average of 2.57, and a save percentage of 922, and 6 shutouts. We're talking about a guy who has played roughly 60 games this season, with the season not even being finished yet, technically. And he's playing for a team that has a depleted defense comparing to other teams around the league that are having strong goaltending. The Winnipeg Jets are between 13 and 15 in regards to defensive rank, which is better than what was expected of them this season. But regardless, that still is not a great defense by any means. They've lost so many guys from this past offseason on the defensive front, and Hellebuyck has stood on his head night in and night out. He has impressed me the most this season by far, and I truly am excited to see what is going to happen with him if the season continues and the Jets are in playoffs. Because if I'm any team and I need to bank on a goaltender right now to help me get these wins come playoff time, you have to look at Connor Hellebuyck. He has been lights out this season, and I expect more to come from him. And honorable mentions I just want to make for this video that just didn't make my list due to lack of games played or wins or things of that nature. Elvis Merzlikins was definitely there. Robin Lehner was really close as well. And Pavel Francouz. I even had him above Philip Grubauer just because of how well I think Francouz has played. But that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. If you're a fan of any of these guys that I've listed, let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with me. Or if I didn't say a goaltender that you felt was deserving to be in that top 10. Please let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it. Check out previous videos if you haven't. It's all NHL content about various things regarding the NHL. And overall, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed this video, and I will be back in a day or two.